If you watch my previous Choco video, you'll know that I chopped my Choco Red. If you've not watched it, go and check it out. And if you have, this is the 4-month update. Hey peeps, welcome back. Hey planty peeps, welcome back to NichesPlants. My name is Kanisha, also known as Niche, and this is NichesPlants. And on this channel, we talk, live and love plants. If that's your thing, hit that bell button and subscribe because you don't want to miss out. So I just want to say thank you to all of my 500 plus subscribers for subscribing, for supporting me. As some of you will know, my goal was to hit 500 subscribers at the end of December, and we've already met that. So thank you so much. For those of you that keep dipping in, that keep watching, I love that you're here. Please support the channel, please subscribe. I know there's about 70% of you that haven't. It's fine, but it would mean a lot to me if you would subscribe, if you enjoy my content, if you enjoy being here and part of the community. It doesn't cost you anything, so please do. So let's get into this El Choco update. Okay, so just to note, this is my cup of coffee. Yeah. Today's video basically has 3 parts to it. Now there's a 3-part to the update because when I initially got my El Choco, it was obviously one plant, and it had about 5 leaves on it. Now I air propagated it, which basically allowed me to have a substantial amount of roots to be able to chop it and pot it straight away without kind of chopping it and then hoping that roots would grow. So I did kind of 2 ways of doing it. So you could say, first one, I took the top cutting and I placed it in perlite because I just wanted to, I was experimenting with perlite propagation. I just wanted to see how it would do, and plus I could hopefully see the roots grow. And the second was straight into soil. And then we've got the third, which is the base, or I'd say the mother plant. So you've got the top cutting, which I'd put in perlite. You've got the base cutting, which I put straight into soil. And then you've got the mother plant, which is the third. Obviously I chopped. I put cinnamon on the fresh wound, if you want to put it that way, so that it would prevent or help prevent any fungus developing, and but also help to dry it out and callus over. Now I will take you through those 3 and then we'll update you on them and do a little close up, and you can kind of see what's happening with roots and new shoots and everything else. So what am I starting with? The mother plant. The mother plant, well, to rewind a little bit, again, if you've not watched me chopping up my Choco Red, check it out here, and then you can come back and it'll all make sense. When I made the chop, because I air layered the 2 sections first so that I'd have a substantial amount of roots, or decent amount of roots, to be able to pot and not kind of just chop and then hope roots would grow. When I did that, I air layered it for probably about a couple of months just to be on the safe side. And I did that with spag moss, which I will link below if you want to check out what moss I used. And then after I made the chop, I basically sprinkled cinnamon on top of the wounds, or all of the wounds actually. I then got 2 shoots starting to form, and I'll put any pictures and videos here. I then got 2 shoots starting to form on the top half of that cutting, and they were doing well. At first they gave out a little funky leaf. I guess it's basically the leaf that kind of checks the temperature, humidity, and then it kind of gives word back to the plant and says, yeah, we're good, come on out, and it gives you your full leaf basically. So that's like the test leaf. So when it did that, I was like, okay, we're doing all right here. And it's funny, when the growth points start, they start really small. You probably think, how is this going to fall into like a really strong stem for the plant to grow off? But it does. If you keep watching, it's actually quite interesting to be able to see that. So I got 2 shoots on the mother plant, and they gave their initial leaf, then they gave second leaves, and they were doing well. Like the mother plant now has the new shoots I'm actually thinking to chop off and propagate. Basically what I'm now thinking is to do like a moss versus perlite. So I'd take the 2 cuttings, put one in moss, put one in perlite, and see which roots develop better, which plant looks healthier, just to see kind of what works out of the 2 substrates in my environment. I just thought it'd be an exciting thing to do, plus I get another 2 plants, right? And then that would then encourage the plant to give me new growth points, which I will show you later. I've got another 2 on the mother plant of the El Choco, which I believe would then sprout. Now, as you know, with plants, kind of all walks, all life, basically everything wants to live. So if you chop a plant, it will find it'll give you new shoots because it wants to grow, but also in chopping helps it be bushier depending on what type of plant you have. So in chopping a plant, as long as you cut it in the right place, like beneath the node, then you don't really have to worry. I know certain plants, like when I chopped my choco, I was nervous because I was a bit like, okay, I want to cut it in the right place and I want to cut it smooth enough, but I don't want it to splinter because then that would affect, do you know what I mean? It was a bit nerve-wracking. Though I might have seemed calm, my heart was pounding. So that was the mother plant. Now the plant that was in soil, the cutting that I put into soil, sorry, 1 second. The cutting I put into soil, it did well. It was all right. It took a while to settle in the soil, I'd say, because in comparison, I got a new leaf on my cutting in perlite a lot quicker than the one in soil. Now, okay, the one in soil had a wound at the top, so it had to form a new, I guess, sprout through another leaf, where the top cutting already had that sheath to produce that new leaf. So you got to take that into account. But it was doing well. It gave me a new leaf. It's initially, when I first cut it, it had a good sized leaf on it. Then I got aphids on my monstera, and I remember I was kind of moving plants, cleaning plants, and this particular choco, I think, must have been around it for a bit, because in checking the leaves I saw some aphids on it, and I was just like, okay, we dealt with it, got rid of them, but I lost that leaf. So in losing that leaf, the second leaf, which was the newest, kind of went a bit funky. Like, it just didn't have its shine to it. It just had like a dust on it, and I thought maybe it was fungus. Dealt with it, cleaned it off, and it looks like a faded leaf now. But I got a new leaf come through, which was lovely. It was beautiful, it was growing well, and then I could see a spike for another leaf. So I was like, okay, this plant's settled, it's now on its way. Now with the perlite propagation, so the top cutting, it was doing well. It really seemed to like the perlite. The roots seemed to be growing at a good rate. When I checked it, I was like, oh my gosh, this root's really long here, and I could see the actual growth and the movement, which was actually quite, what's the word, rewarding. And with that plant did fine. The new leaf that it gave me, so the sheath that was there when I cut it initially, that leaf actually came out and it was a really good size. And when it unfurling, and the colors were just really beautiful, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this is lovely. This is going to be a part of my El Choco bouquet. Like, I think I've said before that I wanted to do basically a whole bouquet of El Choco, and this one is, it passes. It's going to be in that. I'm telling you that now. So when I do that, I will show you. And it was lovely. And then the next leaf that was coming through, and again, I think this might have been to do with the aphids, because at this point in time, my El Chocos were all kind of close together, because I wanted to keep an eye on them, like in sync sort of thing. And I checked the other two, and I checked this one, and I didn't see any aphids on the leaf or anything. And I even looked in the perlite. I did look in the perlite, and I didn't see anything. So I thought, okay, fine. But this new leaf that was then coming through, which would have been the second leaf after the chop, it was just really struggling, and it was kind of bent over. And also I had it in a cup, so even though it was opening up, it was somewhat restricted. So I took it out of the perlite, basically added more perlite, raised it up a bit, and then repotted it so it had space to move. But this one that came through, it just looked very, what's the word, skeleton like it had the life sucked out of it. Basically that's what it looked like. It was brown, it was just pretty much a sheath, and I just thought, yeah, I'm just gonna have to just get rid of this one. And literally just pulled it off and was just like, okay, you're a goner, but okay, fine. The next caterpillar was it looks okay. So I just thought, look, let me monitor it a bit more closely. However, the following leaf was fine. So I think it was just that aphid period where they were on some plants and sucking some life out of it, some of the leaves, but it didn't affect the whole plant, thank God. So after that, it then gave me another leaf, which was doing wonderfully, and it's done really well. So I think I'm going to now show you all the individual babies and let you know where we're at. Also, if you're enjoying this video, please do subscribe. If you like this, I'm sure you're gonna like other content on my channel. And if you so wish, you can buy me a coffee, link down in the subscription. Thank you if you do. So, okay, we're going to start with the soil propagation, okay? Because I think it's the one that went through the most stress or trouble, bearing in mind the whole aphid situation and it losing its first initial larger leaf, but it's now given me 2 newer leaves following that. So here it is. This, as you can see, is the leaf that I was referring to. It's just got a powderiness to it, and I've cleaned the leaf. I've used like normal bit of dish soap and warm water, the neem on it, hydrogen peroxide, and I think just because of the struggle and the battle that it went through, because this leaf was actually coming out when the aphids was on the other one. So when this one came through and it grew, then the other leaf died off. So this one was like in that, it was the mediator between the two, hence why I think it looks the way it does. But then we got this leaf, which is absolutely beautiful and it's just really cute. And then we've got this leaf. Now you can see this one is slightly bigger, so I think it's at the stage now where it's like, it's stable, it's confident, it's like, all right, let's do this. And that's the base cutting of my El Choco, which you'll see here. That's where the cutting was, or the cut was from the top cutting. So the top cutting was on this. So this is the base, because below, say you would have had the mother plant, this, and then the top cutting. But yeah, and even on the back, you can see those red backs are lovely. Can you see that? Yeah. So it is a really, really beautiful. So that is the base cutting. Now I will show you the top cutting. Now the top cutting, I absolutely love. It's gorgeous. It's like one of my fave, I'm not gonna lie. And basically you can see, can you see here? Yeah, you can see some of the roots there. I need to, this basically, it needs to be potted up now, because this perlite looks a bit crazy, but this is the water, so ignore that. But you can see there just what the roots look like. Now this was it this one? This was the one of the initial leaves, because when I cut this first it had 2 leaves and this was the second one. So that's the original leaf. I then got this leaf and it was doing well, and this I think was the leaf that came out after the basically that aphid stage, hence why it looks lovely, but it's just not as dark as the other, because again it was growing but the plant was recovering from the whole aphid situation. So that's what that leaf looks like. And then I got this leaf and I was just like, oh, look how wonderful it is, look how dark, look how the veins are just glowing. And then even on the back, see that, look at that, that red is just wonderful. So this is like, yeah, this is my fave, because you can even, if you look at that one, quite red, that one which was kind of fighting for its life isn't so red, and then this one is obviously a lot redder. So this is my pride and joy. And obviously we've got the Castile forming here, so we've got that will be coming through soon, but it's beautiful. This would definitely go in my little bouquet of El Chocos. I can just imagine the moss pole here, because they do form aerial roots, or as you'll see in the next, roots at the base of where the next leaf is, and that helps it to grab and then it will climb. So I'll have a moss pole here, put that here, and then maybe another one here or 2, depends on how they are. So that's that. Oh, I should have placed this one here for you guys. So that's that one. And now the mother plant. Now I would say, excuse the pot, I decorated this or painted it ages ago and was supposed to seal it and basically didn't, hence why it looks the way it is. But we're not here about the pot, we're here about the plant, okay? So to start. This plant, this is original leaf 1, 2, 3, as you can see that's going, and original leaf 4. Now I had a 5th leaf, which was basically what the plant came as initially before I chopped it. And then you'll see here, this is the new growth point. So one of the new growth points there, and one of the new growth points is here. So you can see that. And this was the second kind of test leaf. The first initial leaf was like really small like that, and it just came off, and that was the same with this one. And then I got this leaf. You can see it's a bit crinkled, a bit wrinkly. Again, I think it was just kind of the second test. Now I did get another leaf come through after that. However, when it came through, a bit like the last one, it was just a bit, the life was sucked out of it, and it was just like a little brown leaf, and you can just see the veinage, and obviously that wasn't going to do anything, so I had to take that out. So even though it's attached, I've tried to look to see if there's another catapult form, and I can't see anything, so I'm assuming it's really small and it's in here somewhere, but I'm thinking I'm going to chop it anyway and just see what happens. But this beauty, look at this, is just, that was the second leaf after the test leaf. So sorry, this is the first leaf after the test leaf, and then this is the second leaf, and it's just, it's gorgeous. It's absolutely beautiful. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. And we've got good aerial roots here. So you can see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 aerial roots. So I'm definitely thinking I'm going to chop that. And you can see again, the red backs are really nice. And the veins on this just glow, like they actually just glow. And I love this, I absolutely love it. So this is the mother plant, but I will show you what I mean in regards to the 2 growth points that I feel if I chop here, and if I chop in there, they will activate the other 2, and then I can do my perlite and moss, or perlite versus moss propagation kind of trial. But this is what they look like. Like, how gorgeous are they? Like, to be honest, this is the first time I've actually put them together like this, because in the greenhouse they're on the lower shelf and the mother plants towards the back, one's on the right, one's on the left. But putting them together, I'm just like, oh, beautiful. So I think I'm going to propagate it again, because this I feel has been a success. And I was able to deal with the pests and didn't lose, I only lost 1 leaf on these 2. I didn't lose anything on this. So, oh, minus that brown leaf. But I'm happy. So let's take a closer look at mother plant in regards to these growth points. So the more I think about it, I actually think I'm going to propagate this one. As beautiful as it is, I did think, oh, shall I? Maybe not. But I actually think I will. In looking again, we've got 2 growth points there, which they should activate. I will then do the moss versus perlite. If you guys are interested in that, then obviously I can take you along with me and we can chop them together, pot them together and see how they grow. I think I would definitely put the smaller leaf in the perlite because of the aeration, perlite holding the moisture without kind of over watering the plant. Finally got there. as well as being able to see the root growth and development as I have on this one. This lady here, I think it's time to pot her up now because she's giving me leaf after leaf so she can have her own little permanent home. And this guy will keep as is because his leaves are nice and glistening and healthy, and we just want him to flourish. And then we'll obviously, well, depending on how things go, do another update on all of them, as well as the newest propagations and the mother plant, to see how she does with the new chop. But let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you have an El Choco, if you've experimented with perlite or moss propagation. I'll put links in the description below in regards to what I use both on the perlite in regards to my arid mix, because I've got a soil mix for plants and I've got an Anthurium mix, which there we go. And I'll put other things down below. Again, if you enjoy my channel, please do subscribe. Feel free to buy me a coffee. As you see, I like my coffees. But for now, dare to dream, live to grow, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.